Your attention, please. This is the Redback Propaganda Bureau, the official vodcast of the 501st Redback Garrison. I'm Buzzard.
And I'm SithPrincess. And if you're watching this, you have the opportunity to win a great prize in our latest competition. All you have to do is find one of our Imperial roadblocks and tell them the secret phrase of the day.
Today's secret phrase is, "These aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along, move along."
The first person to correctly state the phrase wins an all-expenses-paid trip to Alderaan and a tour of our new mobile shopping mall.
Mobile shopping mall. Good one. Good luck, viewers. Coming up shortly is another trooper interrogation. Who's being forced to confess this time?
I love a good interrogation, especially the long, drawn-out ones. We also have more news from the Imperial news desk, as well as our latest mission reports.
Also, we'll reveal where you can see the Redbacks in the upcoming month. Don't miss out. And we're going to take a look at the uniform of the Imperial officer.
Like the one you're wearing now?
Yes, and the various variations also.
Oh, are the various variations as varied as they say?
Yeah, I have actually verified that the various variations are varied combinations.
But are the varied combinations of verified various variations verified by bifurcation or interpolation?
Neither, actually. What I've done is used a verified system of complicated formulations and aggregations and occasional incantation by annexation in consultation to verify the varied verified combinations of various varied verified variations.
Oh. Well, that's just standard procedure.
Pretty much.
Well, then let's take a look at it now. Hello, I'm SithPrincess, and this is Biz, and today we're going to be talking about the Imperial officer uniform. What are some of the pieces that we have here?
For starters, on the table we've got our belt, buckle and greebly that's required as part of our standard approval. Available from one of our local members, which makes it nice and easy for us to source. He makes them in a generic length and you can cut them to suit your own body. Moving on, we've got an optional accessory called belt boxes. Not required on the staff officer, the black costume for basic approval, but it is a nice upgrade to it, makes it look a little bit more impressive. It's a box available from a local electronics supplier with a clip attached to the back so that it slides onto the belt. So again, a fairly simple upgrade. The next option we've got here is our rank bars. Many different rank options available. And depending on which costume you go for, whether it be the black staff officer or the olive drab line officer, there's still different options available. A couple of different options as far as attachment points go. This one has a magnetic attachment point on the back, so it makes it easy to move it around. This one has a pin version, both fairly easy to do yourself or to buy off one of our local guys. Okay, this is the original radiation dosimeter that was used by the German military forces in World War II. It was used to measure any radiation doses that the particular officer was getting in the field, just to keep an eye on their health and well-being. A lot easier option, and what most of us go for, particularly with our first costume, is what's called a chalk holder. They're used by teachers in schools. They hold a piece of chalk so they can write on a blackboard. Makes it a little bit easier for them to write like a pencil. So basically we perform a little modification to those to make them look a little bit more like the original version. So the modification's quite easy. It's a fairly simple hand tool type procedure where a cap is removed and reshaped. We then get what's called a dome washer just from a local hardware store. We paint that with a metallic paint that makes it look a little bit more like the original again, and glue it in the top. And then we get a brass clip and affixed to the front, which looks much more like the screen used unit and replaces the silver unit used on the standard unit. Moving on, we have some gloves on our bench here. Again, this isn't required as a standard option for the uniform, but available as an option on the staff officer. So that gauntlet glove is used on several uniforms again. You don't have to buy it and be restricted just to this costume. You can use it on others down the track. The same hat is used on all of these costumes, depending on the colour that you choose. This one for the staff officer. The only addition once the hat is made is the greebly that's placed in the middle of it. It's exactly the same one that's used on the belt buckle. So that's just a little aluminium accessory that's made up and attached to the hat. The hats themselves have a certain amount of stitching in the brim. Moving on from the hat, we'll go to the jodhpurs or trousers. They're basically an equestrian style pair of trousers, very similar to a German military uniform. They have the flare in the thigh, and basically the most important part of this costume is to have it fitting you really well.
You don't want it too baggy.
That's right, yeah. It needs to look neat and tidy. Yeah. And these tuck into a pair of boots, and yeah, once on they look quite smart. In these officers we use a knee-high boot. In the original movies they were an equestrian boot, a full leather boot, which is quite hard to source at times and quite expensive. So a lot of the horse supply shops around do offer a synthetic version, which is a lot cheaper. The other main part of the costume is the tunic, which is basically a jacket. It has a full closure in the neck, and very important that when it's on it stands up nice and straight and doesn't show any skin in the opening. It closes right over the front, so there's no visible seam line down the middle with any zip or button in it. Moves right across to your shoulder. You can see there the pockets on either side where the dosimeters we spoke about sit. And then we put the rank bar on and away we go. Another option, if you wanted to go different again, you could go to an ISB or an Imperial Security Bureau officer. They have the black trousers still, but a cream or just off white jacket. Again, a different rank bar option, but it's just another version if you wanted to go a slightly different colour to other people.
And you mentioned the olive drab uniform. Is that basically the same, but instead of the black, it's all olive drab?
That's correct. Yeah, the olive drab is for higher ranking officers, and in the CRL it's known as a line officer. So they were basically the head guys giving all the orders. Okay, the blaster option for these guys is called a Merson Power 5. Now it is an optional only extra, you don't have to have it for your basic approval. An important thing to note, if you have that blaster it must have a matching holster attached to your belt, and if you don't use the blaster, no holster is on the uniform at all.
Thank you, Bits. It's great to hear all the different options for an Imperial officer uniform. See you later.
Thanks guys.
Who'd have thought there was so much detail in that uniform? I've certainly learned a few new things.
And now our viewers know what they need to become an officer in the 501st. Head over to the Imperial Officer Corps website at www.imperialofficer.com for more information. And you too can look as snappy as us.
Oops, somebody's stealing my car.
No, that's the incoming transmission alert. It seems the boys down in the detention area have finished another interrogation.
Well, why don't you take a look while I go check my car?
The character I'm wearing now is Garrison, and he's from A New Hope, and he was the spy, or the intelligence broker, which found out where the droids C-3PO and R2 were going, and led the Imperial forces to the Millennium Falcon.
My favourite movie was Empire Strikes Back, because it was the first movies as a child. I remember seeing where the bad guys actually did win to a certain extent. I'd seen the Redbacks around at various different cons like Supernova and Gen Con Oz for quite a while, but for most of my time with them I'd actually assumed that they were like other cosplayers. They were just people who got dressed up in Star Wars costume because they liked it. Then a few years ago I found out about the charity side of the Redbacks, and that just won me over completely, because it wasn't just about dressing up for yourself, it was also being involved to help other people. And particularly when, say, at a hospital trip one time, only just recently, this child who was quite badly injured, I'm not sure how badly, from an operation or whatever, but he just wanted to get out of the bed so much, he wanted to stand with us to get photos with us. He didn't want us to stand around the bed with him. So I think the courage and the fact that we actually inspired him to do that was also very rewarding as well. This is Stormraven signing off.
Gee, that Stormraven is one interesting guy. We need more people like him in the Legion.
Well, my car is safe. I've taken precautions to ensure it won't be stolen.
Oh? How did you do that?
I let all the air out of the tyres. I'd like to see them steal it now.
How are you going to get home?
Do you have a pump?
No. On that note, it's time to check on the Star Wars news from around the world with Pas Windu.
Okay guys, this isn't funny, Raise my chair or I'll tell the Emperor. Oh, come on. Please? Okay, fine then. On with the news. Star Wars Episode 7 delay. Or is it? Episode 7 writer Michael Arndt's recent departure from the project has sparked rumors that the film's release could be delayed. Director J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan have taken over the writing, and it is said that shooting will still commence on January 21, 2014. Sources claim that Harrison Ford has now signed contracts for Star Wars 7 and further installations, as a number of outstanding points have fallen into place. Ford wanted to see the synopsis for his character's development over more than just Episode 7. Recently, Abrams has hinted at a return to the rugged frontier spirit, as the key to the success of the original trilogy was its sense of mystery, from characters to storyline. Well, that's it from me. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Pass. You seem to know about everything that's going on. What's your secret?
Plagiarism, Buzz. My motto is, if it's worth doing, it's worth copying the guy who does it well.
Okay. We can edit that out later, right?
Sure, just don't forget.
Don't worry, my mind is like a steel trap. What's next? Oh, hold on. Incoming transmission. It appears we have a potential winner in our Death Star competition.
Mobile shopping mall.
Huh?
The mobile shopping mall competition.
Yes! Yes! The mobile shopping mall competition, which has no death in it and is definitely not a star of any kind.
Buzzard, I think we have a live feed coming through from our Imperial roadblock. Yes, it appears an old man may have today's secret phrase. Let's cut to that now and see if he gets it right.
Move along.
Oh! So close!
It was move along, move along. He only said it once.
Too bad, old man. You'll just have to find your own way to Alderaan.
While he's doing that,
Why don't we have a look at what we did last month?
bad news, Buzzard.
Oh, what?
We've run out of time.
So soon? Well, it was an awesome episode.
Sure was. Join us again next time for everything Star Wars you need to know.
And remember, we're the bad guys doing good.